We are live. This is On the Button. We're from Shelby Township, Michigan at Ben's house.
Hey, what's
We
up, motherfuckers?
are so pumped for 212, man. It's
Dude,
really
it's
hard.
crazy.
Really hard after like Dallas and 211. So stacked. But 212 is good. Like really good.
212 is gonna be fun as fuck. That's
Like-
really the only way I can describe it. So many close matchups and a lot of finishers on the card.
it's very exciting.
We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a great time. We're going.
I actually have the day off. For
Yeah.
the first time fucking ever on a
Actually,
Saturday.
go to B-dubs without.
I don't know how to manage that.
Well, the last time you went to B-dubs, you got caught because you were supposed to wear.
Yeah, but this time I actually
This
got it
time you
covered.
could actually go.
I didn't actually call off this time.
So that main event, man, Aldo and Holloway finally for the featherweight title.
Man, this is gonna be this is gonna be fun as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it. This is one of the closer title fights we've seen recently.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's literally because of styles and kind of physical attributes.
Like one of the biggest things that could factor in. Well, there's the X factors for both guys.
Yeah.
For Aldo, it's whether his footwork. It's his footwork.
Yeah.
Whether he can use those leg kicks and stay out of Holloway's range and be able to dart in and out like he likes to do so well.
But still score too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's interesting.
And for Holloway, it's his reach.
Mm-hmm.
It's his just innate ability to find your chin.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, where you're going, he's got that crazy reach, and he'll find you with power.
And he does use long strikes so well to close distance. And then, I mean, his output is going to be one of the worst. Again, that was the problem with Edgar at 200, was he couldn't get inside on him. Mm-hmm. I think Holloway will have a better chance of getting inside on Aldo.
One important thing to mention is that the only guy that was considerably larger than Aldo that he's fought was McGregor. Yeah. And he knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out. It was the last, all of his most recent success has been kind of Frankie Edgar body types. It was Edgar, yeah. Mendez, Lamas. Mendez.
Korean Zombie was about the same height.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally the same height as him. So there wasn't a size advantage there.
But all those guys kind of, maybe less Korean Zombie, but Mendez and Edgar, they got to get inside the pocket. Yep. And Aldo was able to control that with footwork.
Exactly.
Way easier than I think he'll be able to with Holloway. But then, I mean, it's a huge thing for Holloway. And what's his 10 fights in a row?
10 straight wins in the UFC.
Yeah.
That's unheard of nowadays against very good competition, especially in his last 5 fights.
Yeah. Last loss was to McGregor.
Yeah, and that was the decision, you know.
He was the first guy to give trouble to McGregor.
I think he might be, besides Diaz, the only other guy that he couldn't knock out.
Yeah. Oh, it's so tough to pick, just because you can't take anything away from Aldo, man.
It's with Aldo, how much did McGregor take his soul? It's kind of against Edgar, he didn't look like the same guy. You know, he was tentative. He was fighting scared.
Yeah,
he was worried,
which
about losing, and
that's
why it was boring.
It's gonna be the way he has to approach this with Holloway. It might be boring. He's gonna have to Mayweather a bit in this fight if he wants to win it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only way that's the way I see him fighting this.
Yeah, and then it's just, how does Holloway take that? Does he get impatient, make some mistakes? Or does he just pick him apart from the outside? And if it's not crazy exciting, Holloway can, take his time and find a shot. He's got 5 rounds to do it.
See, the one thing I liked about Holloway in his last couple fights is that he can eat anything and he'll just use that to chain together a combination. And he's always aggressive and he's never worried about getting knocked out. He's always like, I'm going to knock you out, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, honestly, one of the bigger factors is, can Holloway hang for 5 rounds?
Yeah. And, I mean, has he ever gone 5? Probably not.
I don't think he has.
I don't think he's been a main card.
He was, I'm pretty sure, wasn't he the main event against Charles Oliveira? But he landed like one body kick and Oliveira died, so.
Yeah, it didn't actually go beyond 3 rounds ever.
Yeah, and honestly, like, in my mind, this was a close fight, but the only way I see this going is Holloway winning, which is really kind of... There's a reason why Aldo is the favorite here, you know?
Yeah.
Don't mean to jump the gun in our evaluations, but I've always liked Holloway's style, and he's only 25, and he's been improving steadily, and just making guys that have been legends like for years look like they can't hang. They literally is outclassing these guys.
I also think it's going to be a little bit of what is Aldo able to survive, especially early on. Mm-hmm. And then if it goes past 3 rounds, then we'll see what happens to Holloway when he's chasing Aldo around, which is what's going to happen. He's going to be chasing him.
That's true. And will Aldo try to take him down?
I don't think it happens unless
I don't either.
There's a flurry where Holloway gets inside and gets him against the cage, and then Aldo instinctively from the clinch
tries to
takes
reverse
him
and find a trip
before he starts taking knees or something, elbows against the cage. He takes him down so that he's not taking punishment from with his back against the cage.
Yeah, I know Holloway's not taking down Aldo because Aldo's got 92% takedown defense, so.
Yeah, no,
can't fuck with that.
It would be Aldo out of strictly not trying not to get knocked out on the feet.
Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't ignore the fact that I was finding I want Holloway, and that's been a problem for me before. Where like there's somebody that I want to win.
Please do it. Please do it.
And I think it's going to be a boring win for the champ.
I
think Aldo's going to defend it.
This is going to be great.
And I'm going to be
fun for me.
What sucks is it's like I feel like I honestly believe he's going to be able to survive what Aldo lands on him.
Will that lead him to win 3 rounds, though?
By the 3rd round's kind of going to be the rubber round. It's going to be where does it turn around. But I think he's actually going to land a lot of counters, too.
To be honest with you, I kind of see it a little more like Dilsha Barao, where he just kind of works him over. Like, he's avoiding all these shots, and Aldo's going to get confused. Like, he's not going to know what to do. And he's eventually just going to wear him down, finish him in the 4th. TKO. Yeah,
but we've seen way better counter punching and counter kicks and knees from Aldo than we ever saw.
I will agree.
Barao.
Aldo's the best guy they got in Nova and Yao.
And I can't shake the feeling that the first 2 rounds can be really exciting. I think the first round's almost for sure going Holloway's way.
Yeah.
But I think counters are going to start adding up. And then,
do you think this is like a Swanson Lobov?
No, it's not going to be that exciting.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. But I just think that it will be not like I want it to be better, but my gut's telling me it's going to be kind of boring, especially in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
Yeah.
But Aldo will end up surviving and then getting just the decision victory.
Okay. All right. You wrong, okay? Holloway, he's going to be huge. He's going to be the best champion you've ever seen.
I honestly thought that Holloway was going to end up being... Yeah, episode 27
well, they don't know
showed
that.
up a lot. No, early on? Really? Oh, yeah, you did it like all the time.
Oh, okay. That's when it just started.
Back at my house,
yeah.
Aldo, I was surprised that it started as like almost a pick'em, and then Holloway started becoming underdog just because I think a lot of people are betting on Holloway. And I thought that would keep it closer. But I don't know. Maybe people are seeing what I'm seeing. It's it's tough because kind of neither one's fought this level of, like, for Holloway, this level of footwork and counters, except McGregor, which, I mean, it was close. Yeah. And then this level of reach in a long time, besides McGregor, which we can't even really count that because once that landed, everything, like, what would have happened beyond that?
That's true.
How would he have handled the reach beyond that? He just dove in like an idiot and got clipped perfectly. But, yeah.
All right.
I mean, it kind of had to happen, right? We picked every fight the same way.
Yeah, I know. So now every fight we pick is going to be different this time.
Probably.
That's the goal.
That's
all right.
Fantastic.
Co-main.
Let's get that co-main.
Just as tough to pick.
If not tougher.
It is tougher for me.
This one's, it's because it's more like different styles and straight two different worlds of MMA, striking and grappling.
There's a lot of unknown here because Carolina has not fought in the UFC that long. Mm-hmm. And I mean, she's beaten a couple of good fighters, but her only real signature win was Rose Namajunas, which very impressive.
Yeah.
In a close decision, if I do recall. And Gadea is kind of, a legend in strawweight.
Yeah, because of being there since the Ultimate Fighter that birthed that division.
Well, she wasn't on the show, but...
Really? She had came in after?
Yeah.
Like right after?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She and Joanna, fought for I think it was the first shot, yeah.
I thought that show was for... Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, because that was for the inaugural belt.
That's right.
And then they were the first challenger.
And Joanna took it.
Split decision.
Who's the girl? Esparza. So what I was trying to think of.
She's fighting, I think, in a month.
Yeah, she needs a win.
Yeah.
Like a dominant win. But anyway. So Gadea, bad. Not terrible, but not good striking.
Yeah, everything I've seen from her is a very wrestler's mentality of try to, throw some wild hooks and shit to chain together takedowns.
Yeah.
Or engage the clinch to really just try to control the fight. And I just saw that she's never finished anyone in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to note. Because she just came out and said she was going to finish Carolina.
Well, I mean, even if she had, Carolina doesn't get finished, man.
She doesn't. That chin is fucking steel.
I like how we compared Gadea as a less powerful, but a little bit better at technical Andrade.
Quicker Andrade, yes.
Yeah, Carolina just throws down, man. And her punches are hard.
There. Yeah, and probably her best work is knees in the clinch. From what I saw when Rose would engage her in the clinch, she'd just start lighting her up, and it was because that's when Rose is successful. She likes to work from there too.
Yeah.
Against the cage, and I think that was a turning point in that fight.
Mm-hmm. I think too, it's good to note that Rose is the only one probably close, but she still likes to stay and trade and clinch.
Yeah.
Carolina hasn't fought anybody that's good at taking people down.
She hasn't. It's true.
And that's why this is the hardest pick, It's too much
unknown.
Is it going to happen? Is she going to be able to stuff takedowns from someone this good? Is she going to land something while Claudia's on the way in? That's what's going to happen. So,
yeah, wrestling is the biggest X factor because I think if it stays on the feet, I'm pretty sure Carolina has a couple inch reach advantage, just 2 inches, and she uses it well. I like how she'll put together combinations with her kicks, do a 1-2 leg kick, mix stuff up to keep her guessing. And honestly, one of the bigger factors is whether Claudia can catch any of those kicks.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, I don't know if Claudia just tries to go in for a takedown. I don't think she gets it.
Right. She's got to kind of set it up and maybe eat some shots on the way in. or get Carolina to throw first and then, like you said, catch it.
Exactly. Try to time her up.
It's good to note, too, that through 2 wars with Joanna, both went to decision. She hasn't been TKO'd or knocked out. Both, yeah. I don't know if we mentioned yet already that the only losses professionally for both of them have been Joanna.
Yeah.
So this is a crazy talent, like, setup, too. This is awesome.
And Carolina, I think, is she the only one to drop? No. Gadea did drop Joanna once.
Yeah.
Never mind. They're probably the only 2 that have.
Yeah, I kind of think Gadea's was a little more of a balance thing to you.
Yeah.
Joanna was backing up. But, yeah, I guess I'll lead with the picks on this one. I love Carolina, and I'm going against the cuter girl always wins. I'm taking Claudia's going to be able to make it happen, get her down. Son of a bitch. You take
I'm taking Carolina by decision. When I really looked at it, like, logically, just based on their skills, it would seem that Gadea would have the advantage. But then when I really thought about the fight and thought about how Carolina's gotten better every time she stepped in the octagon, and I think that 5-round fight did a lot more for her improvement than Gadea against Joanna. I feel like she's the one improving, and Gadea's kind of right where she is, which is elite.
The only issue with that improvement was none of it was really takedown oriented. It was all striking.
She has 87% takedown defense.
Yeah, but how many people tried to take her down on her way here?
Rose, and she reversed her.
Yeah.
So
I think Gadea is better than Rose, though.
I agree when it comes to wrestling, but in this one, I think that the clinch is going to be the biggest factor. Is that Gadea is going to try to work from there, but that Whisper Guard, what's it called? Whizzer Guard.
Wait, guard?
From
the clinch when they have the over.
I woke up like half an hour ago. Right, the Whizzer
over the
is one of Carolina's best weapons because no matter if you have both underhooks, she can find a way to either stand up or stay up or use that to advance her position.
You said the height was actually pretty similar, right? For this, pretty much identical.
Pretty much identical. I've seen different heights listed for different things. One of them's taller on this website, one's taller on this one, but yeah, they're about the same.
Yeah, the Whizzer would be easy on Gadea too, because she usually, when she does have someone against the cage trying to get that takedown, she's usually pretty low, and that's when you can get that Whizzer under the arm. But you got to get it before she clips her hands together, and there's going to be so much.
I'm not saying that Gadea won't
stuff.
be able to get her down. That's not what I'm saying.
That's the thing too, is how much will Carolina land to combat the takedowns and control on the ground? Because
more.
This is in Rio. Oh, did Rio adopt the new rules?
That is a good question.
That's kind of important.
Yeah.
I want to say yes.
Producer.
No, they did.
Oh, they did.
Because the Belfort Gastelum card that was in Brazil, they did.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
I just there is like the fighting, like, oh, do I just want Carolina to win? Do I think, like, do I just like her style more? But I just kind of think she wants it more, to be honest with you. Just me.
I love her. She's just having so much fucking fun out there too. Like, one of the only ones in strawweight, except Joanna, that you can really see they're just like, they love everything about the fight world, the media days. They love all of it.
Oh yeah.
But
I think it's gonna be close.
Those two fights.
I can't ignore that.
You could sell me this pay-per-view with just those two fights.
You could flip a coin, and these are those
and
it's that close.
It's almost, it'd be tough. You could almost say this is a guaranteed number one contender next challenger fight, but Carolina, they both already fought her.
Yeah.
Gadea twice. That would be a second time in UFC for Carolina.
I've seen some people talk about that, and I think it's a little more like, if Gadea wins, no. But if Carolina wins, there's
maybe
a decent
because
chance.
The fans loved that fight.
Yeah.
probably a little bit more than the Gadea fight, mostly because they
exciting.
both like to stand and brawl.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine. And Gadea already fought her twice in the UFC versus just the once.
Exactly.
But it depends if anybody can come out of the, woodwork like.
I think Rose is going to get that fight.
Oh, yeah,
she's
pretty much made her point. Who's the chick that fought on 2 straight pay-per-views out of nowhere?
Kavia?
Yeah, Cavillo.
Yeah.
She's fighting, she was at the press conference in
Oh,
Dallas.
yeah, she's fighting Joanne Calderwood.
Yeah. She's making a tear in that division. We'll see her soon.
Yeah, but not quite.
It's too soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's still pretty young and learning, so I don't want to rush that.
Great top 2 cards. But when in Rio, and probably a retirement fight, honestly, for myself, hopefully, love him, but
Yeah.
Vitor Belfort, amazing dude. Fucking brawler. He's
Yeah, one of the
been
most
there
entertaining
since,
guys since the beginning
UFC
of
3,
yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
And they're giving him someone that's going to stand and trade with him finally. Which, I mean, they did with Gastelum, but Gastelum was really, really good.
And who knows, maybe he's just like, hey, fuck it. I'm going to take some TRT, go out with a bang.
Exactly. I feel like we probably would find out by tomorrow, though.
Well, I mean,
was the latest they test
probably. Whatever. It's a joke, right?
Well,
Don't kill my joke, bro.
I honestly, kind of could see it. It's like, what was that needle he just put in his arm on the way up to the octagon? You know what? Never mind. We're in Rio. Let's just do it. But Nate Marquardt.
This is gonna be a close fight.
It's going to be fun because it's going to be who lands, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think Marquardt's gonna be like, yeah, well, I guess I gotta come in and brawl.
Which he likes to. He knows the position he's in. Never going to be a contender, but he's had some knockouts that the fans like him enough.
I think he's 3-7 in his last 10.
Yeah.
Belfort isn't much better.
But I can vividly remember 2 of them being big knockouts. So that's why. And he's been around a long time, too. And
yeah, this is why this could be the most exciting fight on the card, just because it could just be 5 minutes of them fucking throwing hands.
Exactly. And I mean, I'll let you lead off on this one.
Surprise, surprise. I'm taking Vitor first round knockout. I think, they're going to trade, and he's just going to land one punch, and he's going to go down and finish him. Get that, the redemption fight in Rio, and it's going to be a nice moment. Yeah,
I don't think it'll happen in the first, only because I think Marquardt's going to be terrified and just be able to avoid it until maybe... Because
I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to take down Vitor.
Yeah, just to stay in the UFC.
Dominated him,
Yeah, I don't think Vitor's gonna be able to land the punch he needs, though.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I don't think Marquardt's gonna be able to land much on him. If he does, it'll be not hard enough to really hurt him.
Interesting.
Although we've seen Vitor take some hard shots, but even with Gastelum, he was fucking him up.
Yeah.
He ate a lot before he went down.
It's true.
I think it's going to be a decision
All right.
for Marquardt.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
really
this is so funny. Holy shit.
Just
I hope
because...
we just pick completely different.
All the way down.
All the way down.
It's just, I couldn't shake the fact that I couldn't see Vitor doing what he has to do, and I don't think Marquardt's output will be great. No, yeah. I think Vitor will, win the first round just from throwing the most, being most exciting, but I don't see it happening. And then it's gonna be the fans are gonna be pissed. A lot of people watching will be pissed, but I think they're gonna have to give it to Marquardt. They're even gonna try in Rio to give the decision, but rounds 2 and 3, Marquardt's gonna actually land on him a bit and stun him more than he gets stunned, and decision will go Nate's way.
It's interesting. All right, you're gonna lose, but all right.
Did we pick any of this thing?
No, not yet.
What's next up?
It's only 3 though.
Yeah.
Borachina and Bambosi.
Like that fight a lot.
Me too.
Borachina, the only fight we had seen his only UFC fight, right?
It was McClellan, yeah.
And McClellan was kind of, I mean, they like McClellan kind of the way they like Sam Cecilia. He's knocked out or get knocked out. And,
exactly.
But Borrachina just took it right to him, and I don't know if McClellan could land a shot. He just first round right away.
Every single one of their wins between the two have been first round.
Yeah. That's the thing, too, is Bambosi puts it all out immediately.
Yeah. He's the only one that's actually made it to a second round.
Yeah. And then...
in a loss.
Yeah. Where he was so gassed.
Oh,
the second,
God, yeah.
honestly, halfway through the first round. And it's, there's not a lot to see from Borrachina so far. But I think Bambosi is going to, again, they're going to try and make him like, hey, maybe don't put 100% immediately. And then he's, at first I thought he was going to land that first round, but I think Borrachina is going to have good enough movement counters and avoid it, and then be able to get it to the second round when Alawale has nothing left, and then either just tag him, get a decision, or TKO him by the third round.
For Borrachina?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I almost thought you were going to go to Bambosi, and I was like, oh, really?
No. Yeah,
but,
the third round is my locked-in third round TKO for Borrachina.
I really liked what I saw from Borrachina. Just right off the get-go, he really used his length perfectly. And he was one of those guys that was just finding the chin from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he has a reach advantage on Bambosi.
Yeah, the only reason I don't think he should try what he did with McClellan against Bambosi is Bambosi jumps at you. And
Bambosi's, he's way more dangerous.
reach is great unless the dude's jumping straight into you. I mean, if you think you can counter and knock him out, but if not, you're probably getting hit yourself. So play it smart, get the win. You're early in your UFC career.
I think Borrachina, I think footwork is going to be a big factor for him. And, using that jab, really.
Yeah, to keep him away.
But I actually think, Bambosi might chase him around for a few minutes, but he's going to land that right hand that just puts him down.
First round?
Yeah, first round.
I like it. That one, I mean, the X factor is, does Bambosi land something crazy before Borrachina?
Oh, yeah. Does like some karate moves and then head kick knockout. That was like one of the craziest ones I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's Bambosi's fun. But
reminded me of Rashad Evans knocking out that Salmon.
Josh Salmon?
Josh
Yeah.
Salmon.
Yep.
Let's move on. I think this is the first fight on the main card. The Eric Silva, Yancy Medeiros.
Yeah, probably. Is it five?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sung Kao and World Series of Fighting guy are the Fox Sports 1 headliner.
Yeah.
Eric Silva, Yancy Medeiros.
This is fun. I like this a lot because it's kind of like, where are these two guys gonna go? Is Silva gonna pull some historic bounce back like Overeem did, where they were super hyped up and were able to put stuff together later in their career? Or is it gonna be Yancy, finally taking that next step to move up the ladder, join the Diaz brothers that he's trained with for years? What are your thoughts?
There's holes in both guys' games that make it very tough for me to pick them.
Yeah.
Medeiros, it's output.
Mm-hmm.
He's very tentative, and if he doesn't land something, he's probably losing straight on points.
Yeah.
Silva, I like that. I like his jab's been a lot better in his last couple fights, but he gets dropped pretty easily.
Yeah.
Which makes for exciting fights. He's usually able to recover, but how much can he take? How much is he going to get dropped?
Yeah, because we've seen that Yancy can knock a guy out.
And so that's why this one's tough. If it gets to the ground, I think Silva might be the stronger, but I think Yancy has a lot of submissions he can throw.
Yeah, I think he's a little more crafty.
So is Silva really brought it all together yet? And can Yancy throw enough to land something?
See, I think it's also going to be who pushes the pace.
Exactly.
Because Yancey would rather, like, if you let him push the pace, then he can just sit back and try and pick you apart.
Yeah.
Kind of like he did with Spencer. Where it's like, I kind of feel that Silva, like, he'll be pushing it a little more. Mm-hmm. And Yancey might be fighting off his back foot for a decent amount of the fight. But I got Yancey in this one. Let me see how I had it ending. I think I did decision. Yeah, I did. No. I did I was close between a decision or second round knockout.
Something.
Yeah.
That was also that.
Just the way Silva, like, he can be really good for like a few minutes, but then he always like just has a mental lapse.
Yeah, and honestly, I think he got lucky with the Chagas fight, which was his last fight.
Yeah, just because he gassed.
Chagas literally like just crumbled out of being tired, and then he just took his back.
Didn't he knock him down twice?
Knocked him down in the first round, knocked him down in the second round, both devastatingly, but Chagas was too tired to finish him.
Yeah.
So, it is Yancey. Throw for me, bud. You gotta throw. I also have second round TKO.
Oh,
I think he'll catch him with. I think a head kick's gonna rock him.
Yeah.
And Silva's gonna come on his way in, and then a right hand cross is actually gonna really hurt him, and then he'll get on top and hammer fist it out.
Yeah, honestly, I could see like Silva like partially blocks a head kick, but it still does something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too specific, probably, but that's just what my head sees.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Hey, I just need you to throw a left cross right now. Oh, he's down.
Oh my god. Perfect. Yeah, so
I think that this could be a fight of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that might be my number one choice for fight of the night, actually.
Huh.
Maybe Chagas and Warhead, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that's jumping the gun there, champ.
Just.
But yeah, there's a reason why this is a tight matchup.
A lot of tight matchups on the Pick'em.
Yeah, I noticed that.
If you guys want to do Pick'em with us, it is UFC.com/Pick'em, and we are on the button 2017.
Yes, we are.
So.
And you're champion, sitting over here.
Yeah, you
currently
are definitely
leading for like 4 months in a row.
Definitely holding the belt. Jetro Taijin's Stockholm, which
I'm talking overall champ. I'm not going to win every fight.
I'm giving props to Jetro, because besides that, you've been fucking dominant.
Some respect. Sprinkling some respect on it.
Yeah, which Jetro picked Uzdemir, and none of us did that.
We overlooked him.
I kept saying we shouldn't overlook his striking, but I was just
like, no. Mr. Superman, no home.
But yeah, anyway. Try and pick against us, see if you can dethrone Mr. Ben.
He won't.
No, probably not.
You can try. That'd be cool. Sure.
So the Fox Sports 1 main, we got a Sun Cow, who used to be a dominant dude. He's still number 3, but that's fair because he was so dominant back in the day. Mm-hmm. And the two guys he fought were top of bantamweight right now. And then Moraes, who has been with the World Series of Fighting since WSOF 1, all the way through, where they just now changed over, they rebranded.
He's had 5 defenses over there.
And he's coming in as the favorite. And I think
I see why.
Yeah, I think it's like half how much success he had at World Series of Fighting and kind of how quick he is versus a Sun Cow that's going to be an issue. And I think a little bit of it is a Sun Cow, people are kind of like, how much is left?
Yeah, and, with that long layoff, he hasn't really looked the same coming back.
Right.
But I think the biggest factor is going to be speed. Mm-hmm. I think that Moraes has a significant speed advantage. And one thing to note, a Sun Cow, 6 of his 9 UFC wins have gone to decision. Yeah.
And that's going to be bad against someone way faster.
Yeah, someone that is a good counterpuncher and who likes to have a strong output.
Yeah. And, we definitely, if there was something that was lacking from a Sun Cow in his last few fights, the 2 that he came back for, it was speed.
Yeah.
And Moraes, some great, bouncy, very quick footwork.
His Muay Thai is impressive. And, he's got some decent jiu-jitsu skills as well.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to have pretty good takedown defense, but Asunkau's pretty good at holding people down.
Mm-hmm.
He was amazing at it. And, but
Wasn't Dillashaw holding him down a couple fights ago?
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Asunkau a while ago versus Dillashaw now would be really interesting on who would, just strictly ground game, would be better.
Oh, that's true.
And but no, I think Moraes will be able to avoid the ground in all ways. And I think just by output, I don't think he didn't show too much power in the fights that we watched.
Mm-hmm.
Timing is everything. Asunkau's got a hell of a chin, though.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a decision for the World Series of Fighting guy.
I also picked that. Yeah, it's hard to pick against the Sunkau, but or Sunkau, whatever it is. But
both.
Yeah, I thought I kind of see it going like how the Sterling fight was like a really close, but I think Moraes is more refined.
Yeah.
And he's going to fight a little smarter and have just better takedown defense, and I think that's going to be the factor.
Yeah.
Sunkau might be able to get him down, but I don't think he'll be able to hold him down right now.
I would say Sterling has some harder, maybe better technical strikes, but I think Moraes is quicker in footwork than Sterling, and that's going to be a big factor. So that's a good fight. Could go either way still. We'll see what Asunkau has left. Maybe he can, get behind Brazil and get some kind of upset.
But yeah, I kind of think this is going to be just a one-sided fight, yeah. Antonio Carlos Jr. and Eric Spicely.
Spicely is no slouch.
He isn't. He's very opportunistic.
Yeah.
We were watching some of his fights. It's kind of like he could be losing a fight, and he's just waiting for that moment.
Make a mistake.
Jump on your back, or just try to find that submission.
And then Carlos Jr., we've just seen him really ups and downs.
Yeah.
No consistency right now.
He's incredibly talented. His jiu-jitsu is really good, and he seems to be steadily improving in his striking. But yeah, it's all about consistency with him.
Yeah,
So remember, was it Dan Kelly fight? He was dominating, and then Kelly
clipped him
Yeah.
pretty hard.
Exactly.
But I think the X factor is going to be that Carlos Jr. has had more success when it goes to the ground, and Spicely is also that way. I don't think either of these guys are going to knock the other out on the feet. I'll let you pick on
I actually took Carlos Jr. by submission in the second round. I kind of think he's gonna wear out Spicely, and he's gonna give up his back. Which against the guys that's as good as jiu-jitsu as he is, it's kind of hard to pick like that. But
yeah,
I kind of see it going that way.
Yeah, I think I see Carlos Jr. slight advantage on the feet. Didn't really like his output, but I think he'll be better than Spicely on the feet.
He'll definitely have a power advantage.
That too. Although Spicely's got like unexpected straight punch power. But I think it does go to the ground, and Carlos Jr. just has the better technique and strength, and gets into a lot of submission positions, gets his back a few times, controls him on top a few times. But I think Spicely's able to just defend the hands pretty much and then lose a decision. So it's Carlos Jr. for me.
Actually, I was thinking about it, and actually I kind of think that he's going to clip Spicely and then sink in the submission.
Okay.
That actually, just popped into my head, so flip-flopping on the fly.
Still submission, though.
Still same round submission, but yeah, I think it's going to go that way. This should be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah, I'm happy to say I'm pumped about almost every single fight on this.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the underrated potential fight of the night fights here is Eduardo Lopez.
I agree, because Eduardo, it's always fun. UFC career is still pretty young.
Yeah.
But he's
been doing it for a long time.
Said he was Aldo's striking.
He's Novo and Yao. He's their striking coach. He's one of the best boxers Probably in the UFC, honestly, technically.
Definitely was showing it in his last couple fights.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Lopez, I'm blanking on how many fights he had, but both, was it just one? No, two. It was Yaya that submitted him.
Yeah.
Caught him. But then Mitch Gagnon, man, he got lit up in the first round and was able to come back and win that fight.
His resiliency was just crazy. I don't know how he survived, and he seemed to bounce back like nothing happened.
Yeah, and it looked like it was over. Most refs it probably was.
Probably should have.
Yeah, but he came back and won that fight. And I liked his wrestling ability.
Mm-hmm. His jiu-jitsu's really good.
Which is Eduardo's. I mean,
that's his Achilles heel, really.
Being with that team, I mean, you're gonna have some skill with it.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna be working that a lot for this fight.
I think the biggest problem is going to be he's a great technical striker, Eduardo, but Lopez can really eat it. I think his chin's going to get him through everything Eduardo has to throw at him.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to take Eduardo down. But then,
one thing from Eduardo that I've seen is like you can get him to back up to the fence.
Yeah.
And I think that'll play into Lopez's game if he just puts some pressure on him on the feet, throws a lot of kicks to avoid those Eduardo's range, then he'll be able to work to get him on the ground and find that submission.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna take. I think Lopez is gonna be a little tentative.
Yeah.
Because of just the striking ability of Eduardo, and then Eduardo will have enough training with the jiu-jitsu guys to defend, and it's going to be a decision victory for Lopez based on just control and always attacking for submissions but never getting it.
I was close to doing a decision there, but I kind of think he's going to catch a limb. He's going to catch an arm. It's not going to be a choke because that's the first thing they'll defend. But or that he'll be trained to defend. It's really hard when some guy grabs your arm for you to avoid that arm bar, Yeah. And I think Lopez is one of those up-and-coming guys in the division that can make a splash.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him.
I'm pretty sure Eduardo's like 38, something. He's getting up there.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty soon. He'll be just the coach.
Yeah,
and stop fighting himself.
He'll pull that Dwayne Ludwig.
Yeah, which, a lot of success for Dwayne. We got 4 fights left. Let's kind of speed round them.
Let's do it.
Yuri Alcantara versus the new guy, Keller? Probably Keller.
Oh, yeah, probably Keller.
Alcantara was losing to Saunders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's getting lit up on the feet.
But then caught that knee bar.
Mm-hmm.
Saunders made a mistake. But Keller doesn't strike me as good as Saunders.
No, not on the feet. He's more of a wrestler by trade from what I've heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll play right in Alcantara's game.
Because he loves throwing up submissions from the back or reversing and getting that
I
out.
think I picked like 4 submissions on this card. And I'm not stopping now.
One in Brazil.
Yeah, one in Brazil. Alcantara first round submission.
I had 3rd round. I don't know why. I just think Keller will be better than people kind of expect. And then Alcantara won't be able to find one until the 3rd round.
Sounds good.
Then we got Pereira, and then Jamie Moyle.
This one is one of the closest fights on the card for me. It's really hard to pick.
I agree. I was back and forth.
They're fairly similar in style.
It's probably the one most fans are least excited about.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the hardest ones to pick too.
Yeah, honestly, I think Pereira has a little better output, and I think Moyle's a little better as a wrestler. Mm-hmm. But I kind of think Pereira's good enough as a wrestler to avoid that and win a decision.
Yeah, I wanted to give hats off to Moyle's chin because she ate a lot of shots in those last few fights and kept coming.
It's true.
But I think, decision victory for Pereira.
Especially the way she came on in the 3rd round against a talented fighter in Valerie Letourneau.
Yeah.
And she really found her niche in her debut in that second half of the fight.
Yeah,
that'll be the difference.
Love the chin for Moyle, but I think Pereira is going to win the point decision.
I agree.
Chagas and Warhead.
Fight of the night.
Yeah. It's so much fun. So much fun.
This guy's going to be swinging for the fences from the beginning.